is to open up to new perspective and to new opportunities in growth and well-being. Well-being on all levels, physical, spiritual, emotional. And yesterday we said that Pesach was a time to talk, because Pesach is the name of the holiday, so we need to talk and understand ourselves, talk to ourselves, understand ourselves. We need to renew ourselves, because this is the Chag Aviv, springtime, and we are all completely directed towards Zeman Chirutenu, which is a time of freedom. And another thing is, because the matzah signified the bread of affliction and the bread of salvation, we have to look at things that are coming in one thing and look at it from different perspective and assimilate all of it and see the good in it altogether. So develop the ability to see a negative event in a positive light. This is what the matzah is telling us to do. So on every single holiday, we do speak of the event of Pesach. In other words, Pesach is a holiday where it's actually a complete, in other words, every single holiday will do two things. Will remind us of the creation of the world, and will remind us of the Exodus, of the coming out of Egypt. Why is these two things repeated 52 times in the Torah? Because when we are coming out, it's not enough to be in the world because the world was created and we're here and that's all, we have no choice. But it is very important to take that chirut, that freedom that we gain on Pesach, and make it a personal one. So if the nation of Israel came out of Egypt on Pesach, it cannot happen without having individual also doing the same process as the nation. In other words, you can't have a group of people doing something without having individuals doing it too. Like I cannot say, oh, I went to the store, my whole body went to the store, but my hands or my brain was left at home. You can't do that. So you got everything going and everything has to go together. Every single person, every single individual has to be achieving that freedom that the nation achieved on Pesach. And remember that anytime we have an event, a Jewish holiday, is not a celebration like, oh, we remember something that happened a long time ago. This is not how it works. If you think about it as a spiral that is going upwards, and every time on that same line of the spiral, on the same circle of the spiral, let's say the circle of the spiral is the year, and every time you come back to that same point, it's the same holiday. Why we're celebrating this is because all along that line, all along that spiral going up, is the same influence that is coming to us. The same influence that happened then is coming to us. Otherwise, there'd be no point for celebration. We don't have memories. We celebrate because it's happening right now. So it's about to happen now, that we're going to come out of Egypt. We're going to come out of a narrow strait, a narrow box. And this is what's going to happen at this holiday, more, I think, than ever before. So because every individual has to make this evolution into a freedom, a personal freedom, it's up to each of us to show up and be ready to get rid of chametz, to be getting rid of a lot of unwanted stuff in our minds, in our heart, and to really, really open ourselves to new possibilities. So the mindset of being in Mitzrayim, it means in the narrow strait, in the tzarim, in that little box. And if we're stuck in a box, whether it's a small box or a big box, doesn't matter. We're all stuck somewhere. And our personal duty is to develop ourselves and to get a spiritual connection. And the work is to get out of the box. Wherever we're stuck, That's where we have to get out of. This is what it means to be free, to be getting out of where we're stuck. So this year, it's a very paradoxical situation, because as we told to be locked down by everyone, our inner voice and our goal is to open up. Get it? Lock down, open up. This is what we need to do. We need to open up. To open up, because we have no other choice. The only way we'll be successful in having this Passover is opening up to our new creative self and finding ways to make it work by being willing to change and bravely and squarely come out of our mind box. There's no other way. So the first thing is, people have asked, people are scared. I've never made a seder. It's not true that people have never made a seder. Because people have been to seder. People have witnessed it, and they actually did it, except that somebody else was leading it. Somebody else was conducting it. So I want to tell you something. How did they do it? They did it the same way you're going to be doing it. They saw someone do it, maybe their parents or whatever, maybe a Rebbe, and then they did it. And that's how they ended up conducting it. But everybody has been doing the seder. And so if you're a woman, it doesn't mean you cannot conduct a seder, because the chiyuv of the Haggadah is on everyone. Because women, we benefited so much from this being liberated from Egypt, we have a chiyuv to also say the Haggadah. Actually, not the whole thing maybe, but at least the main part of it. So there is no question that women are also going to be involved in making the seder. And I can tell you this, I've done it myself many times. There's not a problem. And it's actually much easier than you think if you have the necessary ingredients and necessary things that you need to have it. It's actually the easiest thing to do, because the seder is called a seder for a reason. It means it's a schedule. It's a schedule. It tells you where you start, how you do it, what you do next. In every Haggadah, it tells you, you cover this, you uncover that, you lift up your cup, you fill up your cup, you say this, you say that, you do this, you do that. It is the easiest thing to do if you know how to read, because it tells you all of it. You don't have to make it up. You don't have to do anything special. You just have to follow along the instructions, just like a GPS, even better. So I want you to be very relaxed about all the people that are now wondering how they're going to conduct a seder. You're going to conduct a seder, believe it or not, the same way you've seen people conducting sedarim, wherever you've been invited, because that's what they did, the same thing. They did the same thing. They read, and in the Haggadah it says, do this, do that, and that's how they do it. And that's it. And they tell everybody else to do it. You're going to tell yourself to do it. And that's very, very easy, actually. I think out of all the things for Pesach, conducting the seder is the easiest thing you can imagine. Really the easiest thing. It's a no-brainer. If you know how to read, you know how to do it. Okay, so we'll talk about doing the seder and how to prepare and have all the necessary things for this in another webinar, just telling you that it's much simpler than you think, and it's much simpler than anything, I think, from the whole Pesach. I think it's the easiest part, actually. We'll go over what we need for the seder another time. Right now, if you do not own an Haggadah, now is the time to order one, have it delivered while the mailer is working, and yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday, ordering the things that going to make you happy. So if you do not have a Haggadah because you're relying on your host to have one, now is a good time to get it. There are so many different kinds, unbelievable. For people who want to make it very easy on yourself, very easy, like really easy, the Art Scroll Children's Haggadah is basic. There's no big commentary, there's no big fluffy things. You just do it, and you'll have the easiest time possible. Now, if you are into mefarshim and understanding what you're saying and getting to know more, then order another one. But I'm just telling you. Also, the letters are quite big, and that's really nice. Okay, so today we're going to start with some practical aspect, because some people said that the seder is the most worrisome item on their mind, but I want to tell you, it's not. I think the preparation and getting ready for Pesach is what it should be now on your schedule, not the seder. Why am I saying this? We are about less than 10 days, if I calculate right. But in any case, you being very aware, let me look at the calendar here. You're being very aware that Pesach this year starts, okay, so Bedikat Hametz starts on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, you're doing the Bedikat Hametz. We're going to talk about this, which means that everything has to be ready Tuesday night. So the first Seder is Wednesday night, and Wednesday night you should be really, really ready for a 3-day vacation. Yeah, vacation from any technology, and vacation from any kind of social demands. All right, so what I want to express right now is, because time is going, the first thing you should concentrate on right now is getting yourself ready for Pesach. When I say getting yourself ready for Pesach is, if you can think about what you have to clean, now you should be well ahead of the game, because if you're not, you're going to fall behind. I'm urging you to have your car clean. You can call someone to come and they'll do it. I can give you a phone number of someone if you want. Just a second. I see here that someone cannot hear me. Is that an old message, Rivka? Yes, it must be an old message. Okay. So what I want to say is like this. Right now, any place where you're not actually eating should be already ready for Pesach. For example, your car should be ready. If you have snacks in your car, if you have things that, you know, not Pesachdik, if you have your car clean or whatever, now is the time that should already be done. It doesn't matter if it's been waxed or not. I know some people really care about cars. Right now we're talking about Pesach. So get your car should be ready. Your bedroom hopefully is ready. Now, if you're like me, you do your kitchen before your bedroom, I totally understand. But if you are like most people, you're going from the outside towards the kitchen. I do the opposite. I start from the kitchen, and once there's no more chametz in the kitchen, I just finish up the rest of the house. But my living room or whatever, the area where you're going to be having your seder should be ready. If you need a part of your table and your dining room is ready and you still need to eat in your eating table, clean your table, change everything, whatever it's tablecloth, whatever, cover it with a plastic. I'm going to tell you my big secret for Pesach. My big secret, some people have aluminum foil for Pesach. My secret is plastic. So plastic tablecloth and 33-gallon clear plastic garbage bag are my weapons for Pesach. I just do everything with it. I'll tell you what I do later. So you can cover your table. If you have 2 layers of plastic, I don't think anything will go through it. I'm trying to make you understand that the more you do now, the more you'll be able to, at the last minute, pack up the stuff that is chametz, throw it in the garbage, get rid of it, and you're set. This is what I'm trying to do, because a lot of people have told me that, for example, okay, let me go back first. Let me go back. The first thing you should do is go, like, okay, Einstein said, if the world would be, in danger, or, there'd be a huge global problem, how would he solve it if he had an hour to solve the problem? And he said he spent most of the time thinking about it, and the last 5 minutes implementing it. So what I want you to do is like this. I'm not a list person. I'm not like, okay, let's make a list and then I'm going to go shopping after I have my list ready. I'm not that kind. But for Pesach, I tell you what the advantages are of making a list. First of all, you go around with a little pad, a writing pad, a memo pad, whatever you want. Don't take pieces of paper. If you have, take a little notebook, whatever, and I'll tell you why. Because you're going to write all the things that need to be done. And as you list the things that need to be done, it does a few things to you. It does 3 things, excuse me. First of all, it's a reminder of doing it, okay? Now, if something, there's this guy, he wrote a book, Getting Things Done. If there is something that as you're going to be writing it, you could do it in 2 minutes, then do it. Don't write it, just do it. Get rid of it already. It's off. It's off the chart. But if something that's going to take you time to figure it out, to sort it out, to do it actually, write it down. Make the list. You can make a list by room. You can make a list by time. You can make any kind of list you want. But the advantage of having a list is, number 1, it's a reminder. Not going to forget. Number 2, it gives you great satisfaction of checking that something has been done. You can write a check. I like to cross it. It gives me a much greater pleasure to cross it than to check it. And so once you cross it, you see this is an achievement. You see, this is what I've done. And then it gives you the encouragement that you can do it and you're going to do even more. Always looking at your progress, always an advantage. So that's the advantage of writing it. And then another advantage that it has is on the psychological level. Once you have something written down on a piece of paper, your mind, instead of worrying about it and keeping it in the front of your mind that you have to do it, your mind knows that it's written down somewhere, and therefore it can relax knowing that it's on paper and you will not forget it. And it relaxes your mind at night to know that you can not worry about remembering it because it's written down. So it's a huge advantage to always make a list. And then, of course, gotta go through the list. So, all right. So now, I want to go a little bit over the logistic of this. The way I do it is like this. I figure out what I want done in reverse. So I start with the Seder night, and I don't want to be spending the whole night up, which happens to me quite often, to be honest, but I want the night before Pesach to be rested. The Seder is going to be taking not a lot of physical energy, but if you're sleepy, it's going to be harder for you to enjoy it. And you're not going to get the most out of it. So be rested. So if you want to be finished by, let's say, the night of the Betikat Hametz, which is Tuesday night, we are now Monday night. You have 1 week to get everything done. I don't know how much you've done. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. If your curtains, your light fixtures, your frame, your whatever have not been done by now, that's it. It's for foreign. Don't think about it. Just leave it, okay? There's no chametz there. But if you go around your room with your yes, well, that's how I do it, but I take myself way ahead of time and I start on Hanukkah. But so but what I want you to do is go around the house right now. So take your notepad, and write down the things that have to be done. I found, lo and behold, a whole box, a gift box of whiskey in my bedroom. What was it doing in my bedroom? Because it was a gift somebody gave me and I never drink it, and now I have this box. Well, of course, whiskey is pure chametz. It doesn't belong anywhere except the place where I'm going to sell my chametz. which is my pantry. So go around the house. Check if you have snacks in your room, if you have things that are hanging around that are chametz. If there is any part of glue, any whiskey, any snacks that you keep, you know, in your den or near your couch, all of these things should be by now put away, because if you want some whiskey, you can always go to the pantry, open the bottle, and have it there. But this should already be taken care of. Now, what you're going to really need to be thinking about is like this. You're going to have the cleaning, the shopping, the cooking, and the cleaning again, because after you cook, you gotta clean again. So I want to say like this. How long does it take you now to get your shopping done? Okay, on a regular basis, you just go to one place or a couple places and you get it done. From my experience this year, you could do it. You could go to one store and get everything done. If you have kosher store in your place, I mean, in LA, we're very fortunate. You can go to a one-store shop, whether it's in the valley, on Pico, on my side of town. You can have everything in one store. But if you are not in that case and you need to get different things from different places, I want to tell you, shopping these days takes longer. I don't know why, it's just taking longer. So the shopping is going to have to be done. Once you arrive with the shopping, somebody says to me, I cannot go get my meat and chicken because I have no place to put it, because I did not clean my fridge. So I said to them, yeah, that was in France, and there's an issue, maybe they're going to stop shrita, whatever, it's good, like difficult situation. I said, that would be crazy to delay buying your chicken because you have no place to put it. Because when you buy your chicken and you put it into a plastic bag, and that's why this is my weapon. Clear, see-through plastic bag, 33-gallon. You can put all your chickens in a bag. Double pack it in the bag if you want to, but you will have, sorry, somebody wants my attention, and it is for sure not for me. So these bags, 33-gallon bags, this is very funny what's happening on this video right now, but these plastic bags, they see through. They're up. Oh my goodness. All right, so these bags are amazing. You can take anything you get from the store that is kosher A.A.P.C. If you don't feel comfortable that it's wrapped only one time into the bag, double bag it and then put it anywhere you want, and you'll be fine, whether your fridge is ready, your freezer ready, or anything like that. But do not delay. If you're already out and buying stuff, buy your stuff for Pesach now, okay? All right, so that's another thing that I hear people say, well, I cannot do my fridge because I'm still eating chametz. So I want to tell you, you can do your fridge, because to do your fridge is going to take you quite a while if you want to clean it really well. But you can always double bag your chametz. And be very careful. Remember, we have an advantage this year. There's nobody else. So we don't have to look at someone else, what they're going to be doing by mistake. It's just us. So you know you're not going to mess up. You know that if you take a piece of challah out of the fridge or out of the freezer and it's in a double bag, you know that piece of challah is securely double wrapped and it's totally fine. So Ziploc bags are great, but I like better the other bags because they're big, they contain a lot, and I can put my whole arm into it, lift up the piece of bread, and nothing happens. And keep my fridge or freezer absolutely clean. So that's one tip that I want to give everybody. Do not delay. Do not delay. Another thing that I want to tell you is plastic tablecloths are wonderful because if you have one table, for example, and you need to put some of the things that are chametz and some of the things that are not chametz. Now, if somebody would have done it to me, like my kids would have done this to me, I would have screamed and I would have made a fuss. But I want to tell you, challenging time calls for creative solutions. And if you need to put a mechitza on your table, do it. You can take a cardboard, you can take anything you want, make a mechitza, and this place is where you put your things because your table has been cleaned, and the other place is a place that you keep for eating your crackers, eating your challah, eating your bread, or whatever it is. If you have 10 chairs in your house, you do not need to wait until you clean all your chairs for Pesach at the last minute. Clean all your chairs, just leave one for yourself, and that's it. You don't need to wait to clean your stove or your fan or your anything like that. You do it now, you do it very well. And now, the next time, I don't know if you're going to have really time to cook between now and Pesach, but if you cook, it'll be a very light cleaning, okay? So remember, do not delay because you're still going to use that item. Just do a cleaning right now. If you have a microwave, clean your microwave now from all the chametz that has been going around. And if you use your microwave a couple times for something that is really chametz, you'll just wipe it off, but at least it'll be clean, it'll be scrubbed. So the item right now, I want to push the agenda that I want to push with you today is clean everything you can without waiting, because if you have, let's say you have cleaned your microwave, okay? And now you're going to be warming up some soup or a piece of chicken, just piece of roasted chicken in it. The piece of roasted chicken has no chametz in it, not going to make your microwave needing to be cleaned again. The soup has no chametz in it unless it has barley or something really, wheat or anything like that. Semolina has no chametz, this vegetable soup. You can still put it in the oven, in the microwave, and at the last minute, all you do is lock that microwave or put it away or whatever you want to do with it, okay? So I'm pushing this. Clean as much as you can now, because at the last minute, remember, you can always cover your microwave, lock it away, or put it away, or do whatever you usually do with it. But do not delay on the cleaning just because you are still using items in your kitchen, okay? So that's what I want to say now. It should, I know a lot of people this year that have already their kitchen done. So I'm not saying that to make you panic or to make you feel bad, because my policy on Pesach is to never tell people where I'm holding, because everybody has a different way of handling things. So everybody has a different way. Somebody can tell you, I did all my shopping. Oh my gosh, they did all their shopping. Yeah, but they haven't done their kitchen. Or somebody tell you, oh, my kitchen is already ready, but they haven't done their shopping. Or somebody tells you, well, I've done everything, but now I'm going to have like a week at work, like very, very busy, and that's why I need to get ready. You don't know what happens with people. So just take it the way you want to make it happen, okay? Right, so place your orders if you need to place your orders. Do not worry about not having the place where to put it. You can always double bag and it will be fine. And remember, another of our allies here, besides the plastic bags and plastic tablecloths, are the aluminum foil. Okay, so aluminum foil. If you have any question, Anister has a Pesach package ready to go. There is a question that I want to answer right now before it goes up. They are Chabad of Los Feliz has a box. It's called Pesach to go, I believe. I don't know what's in the box. I really don't know, but you can call them and see what they have, maybe something ready to make. I know that the Rebbetzin over there is a really good chef. I don't know if they sending just the stuff for the Seder or more than that. But anyway, all the restaurants that are going to be open, all the catering business, all the hotels that have not having their Pesach program, everybody's catering. If you want to take out and you do eat out on Pesach, there's plenty of things. Okay, so, haha. Nice question, and I've been thinking about this. Okay, I'm glad Leah brought it up. Okay, Leah, the leniency about Pesach regarding the cars, whatever you listen to your rabbi, I'm not giving a halacha shir here. I'm not. I can give you some tips, but I'm not giving a halacha shir because this is not for me to do. Just want you to get you on the right path and get you going so that you feel comfortable and you can have a wonderful, happy, comfortable, great event of Pesach. If you don't want to go to the beach, okay, so because now the mikveh for the toveling the dishes, I don't know if the dishes one are closed. I don't know if the dishes one are closed, but okay, so I lived in Paris for a while. In Paris, this is how we did it. We went to the Seine, to the river, and we took a long rope and a big net, and we put our stuff in and we dunk it in. And that was quite an experience. We could not go into the canal because if it's man-made, it doesn't help. But we could do it in the river. And so my whole childhood, that's how I did it. I went to the beach. Now, if you don't want to go to the beach, I personally think the beach is very safe because there's nobody there, at least some of them, and because the water, Mayim Chaim, always rejuvenate itself, and with all the things that we did to the oceans, they're still good. We still go bathing in it, so it shows you. So if you don't want to go to the beach. So there's a situation that I remember from many years ago, traveling in Spain and being in a little village near Barcelona where we did not have a place to tovel the dishes in a new pot we bought for Shabbos. So what you do is like this. You give your pot or your crock pot or whatever to a goy. You give it to him and you say to him, can you, I'm giving it to you, but will you let me use it? And then maybe you buy it from him later on. You make a deal with him, whatever it is. If the item belongs to a goy, the item belongs to a goy, you can use it without being tovel. So that's what I want to say. All right. Thank you for posting. All people, take a look. Somebody is posting that someone is delivering and doing all this toveling dishes at the beach. We'll pick up and delivery, and that's Danielle Blumentraus, 310-745-3065. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm really, really happy that everybody's participating here and everybody's helping each other. Yesterday, we already gave myshopla.com, which is people that will do the shopping for you and deliver. myshla.com. All right, so just want to do that. Toveling the dishes, okay. What else do we have here? So again, you're going to be using your stove.
Actually, can I ask a question just in person so that?
Sure.
Yeah, because I don't have a countertop oven, and I don't think I'd feel safe buying a countertop oven and leaving on the counter on for 3 days. And I'm not cleaning my oven; it doesn't have self-clean, and so I was thinking maybe a crock pot, and I was wondering what you think to cook in a crock pot. And does anybody have an idea of what one that you can operate that doesn't do something automatically, or it's digital, you know.
So Leah is talking about the crock pot. Again, I'm not paskening or anything like that. But if you have a hot plate or a crock pot and you want to put it on timer, I've seen people do it. I'm not a Rav, I'm not paskening on this, but I've seen people put their crock pot on timer. And you can do the same thing with your oven, actually. So, so if you don't want to leave your little toaster oven that you'll buy for Pesach, a new thing, and you leave it on your counter, make sure that the counter is not going to be burned. Do not put anything that is flammable under it to protect the counter. Plastic will melt, wood could burn, but no matter what, protect it. And if you put something made out of metal, it could also transfer the heat. Okay, so, right. So you always ask the question to your Rav, but I'm saying if you're not wanting to leave your toaster oven on for 3 days because we have Shabbos, I've seen people do it, they put their plata on timer. So you can put your oven on timer. All right?
But if you have a crock pot, then you can take out the pot part.
If you have a crock pot, it's the same thing. You can remember, you're not going to make every single meal, and that I really strongly advise against it. Make every single meal a different meal, unless you have nothing else to do and you're a gourmet chef and you cannot handle having this two times the same food. You're going to make a very, you're going to make quantity and use it, a few times. Somebody says, Michelle said to use a smart plug. Well, the smart plug, I don't know how it works. I know some people, I've seen this. People have a remote control from their phone and the timer is like that. But whatever smart plug you have, I don't know what it is, Michelle, you can elaborate in the chat box. Thank you for sharing this. But in any case, a timer is very easy. Practice on your timer a couple days before Yom Tov. You don't want to find yourself with a timer that is not working properly on Yom Tov. Always try it before. Like my mother said, don't make a new dish for Shabbos because you want to try it on weekdays first. Okay.
But wait 1 second. With the crock pot, you can take out the dish, the pot itself, out of the heating element, and you can cook something new. You could take out the food.
Absolutely. You can do anything you want. There's no problem. You can do anything you want.
I think the crock pot's the answer.
Yeah. If you want to get a crock pot, and you know what, but you before you go to bed at night and you put your food in there, the next morning you get up for lunch, it's for sure going to be ready. That's a very good idea and come out very good and tender chicken. Okay. I know, Leah, you don't have chicken, but still I'm laughing. All right, okay. So any question on the timetable that you should make for yourself? Okay, this is what you do. You take your calendar and you say, this is Tuesday. Tuesday is my cutoff time day, okay? Work backwards. I'm cooking for 1 day. I'm cooking for 2 days. That brings you back to Sunday. Sunday means you have to have your food in. It means Sunday is your last day to cook. Does it mean that you've already turned over your kitchen before Sunday? If it's a yes, I congratulate you if you came to that conclusion. My experience for Pesach is always the Shabbos before to be ready. Unless it's a whole week, but we don't have a whole week because from my experience, but we have other things except Pesach. We have work, we have things to do, we have things to learn or get involved with, whatever it is. So you're not spending your time preparing for Pesach 12 hours a day. So you're going to spend a few hours doing this and a few hours doing that. If you want to kosher your kitchen before this Saturday, it is a totally good idea. All right. So I'm just saying, I leave it up to you guys because I don't know your place. I don't know how big it is. I don't know if you just wipe your counters, put 2 foil of aluminum on it, and you're done with it. But I'm just telling you, I go back to my little plastic bags and I line my backsplash with it. When I peel my vegetables on the ledge, I open the bag and I peel all these vegetables and then I just throw away the bag. It makes life so much easier to have these bags. I just can't tell you. You can open them and line your shelves with it. You can put them in your fridge. I find them they're very good in the fridge, better than paper, better than foil. Anything with a plastic bag is going to be good for me. All right, any question? All right, any question? No question. All right. So I want to tell you also, a lot of you are going to buy things for Pesach. See this little bottle? A lot of you are going to buy things for Pesach. And what I want to say is that a lot of the things that you're going to buy, you can really buy them with food in it, drink the food, transfer the food in a Ziploc bag or whatever it is, and use the container. Because for people that are going to be making Pesach this year for the first time and going to invest in a lot of purchases, it's going to be a problem, number one. Number two, when you get plastic containers, you don't have to tovel them, which is a good thing. Number three, you don't want to be stuck with this huge amount of things that you're not going to use again, or maybe you will. I don't know what's going to happen anymore. But let's say I want to make a salad dressing. So my little bottle here is perfect container for salad dressing. Shake it, use it, and do it. If you need to store anything and you've, let's say, purchased box of dates, comes in a plastic bag, or you purchased a lot of salads, come in a box, just keep using this box because you can store things in there and make it easy. And then after Pesach, just throw everything away. Of course, aluminum containers are going to be a big hit, the disposable one, because if we forget that, we bypass the issue with the toveling, right? So I'm just wondering if I can I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but in any case, I made a picture. Let me see on my phone. I made a picture of the things that I personally, because we talked about shopping and having it delivered in advance. Let me look on my phone for just 1 second. Okay. This is what I recommend: a frying pan. Unless you want to fry your eggs on an aluminum foil, a frying pan is a good idea. A ladle, gonna scoop this out. A bigger pot and a smaller pot. A kitchen knife, if you can get yourself 2 kitchen knives, serrated one and not serrated one. A potato peeler and a grater, and a can opener if you're going to be using anything in a can. Cutting board, unless you have a different way of cutting things. And you're going to be koshering your ledges. And I want to say a cookie sheet. Why a cookie sheet? Because a lot of you are going to be spending the Yom Tov, but also Shabbos. And for Shabbos, you're going to need a blech. Unless you have a crock pot, like Leah said, you're going to leave everything on the crock pot, you're going to need a blech so that you can set it up for Shabbos. Now, there's no point buying a huge blech or anything specific, but if you have a cookie sheet that you can buy in any store, and I'm not even sure you need to tovel it because you're not going to be using it directly with food, so that should be okay. You line this to keep it clean with a little foil on top, and that will be your blech. So don't forget that issue because we have 3 days of Yom Tov and Shabbos for this year. Okay, so now we talked about not being able to tovel. Now, if you have items that are kasherable, because the way I grew up, we did kashering at home. So I really vividly remember these things. But most people nowadays, they just go buy new things for Pesach. They don't necessarily kasher things. So I see a lot of people, for example, they're bringing all the silverware to the kashering behind the shul, and they have it done. I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I myself, I do it, but the thing is, you don't need the shul to have it done. And I'm not sure this year they're going to have it. So what you need for kashering is like this. First of all, the item you want to kasher from weekday to Pesach, or from, I should call it, year-round to Pesach, should be made out of metal. That's the one thing. Another thing is you need something that is big, that can contain quite a bit of water. So if you have your biggest pot, and your biggest pot does not have to be kasher Pesach pot, could be a year-round pot, okay? I give you an example. Let's say you have a ladle, and the ladle is completely metal. It's no plastic, no wood, no nothing. It's complete metal. And you want to use it for Pesach because you don't want to go buy 100 things and not use it again later. So, and I mean, if you want to use plastic, cutlery for Pesach, it's fine. But when you need to dish out your food out of a soup or out of a hot plate, you need something that can take the heat. So either it's a big spoon or a ladle, whatever it is. I tell you what you do. This spoon has been inside hot chametz pot. And therefore, if you want to use it for Pesach, it needs to be kasher the same way it was made chametz. There is one line you have to remember. Kach bolo, kach polto. The same way it came in, the same way it's got to come out. Now, this sentence means that the same way the item has absorbed the chametz, this is the same way it's going to spit it out. The way we're going to make it spit it out is through kashering it in hot water and straight away after cold water. So I'm going to go back, but before there was something that I wanted to say. Well, I'm going to forget it. Okay. Okay. So let's say you have your ladle. You take a big pot of a big pot of water. If you want to fill it up with hot water, that'll go faster to boil it. Once the pot in the water has reached a temperature of bubbling hot, you take your ladle or your big spoon, you dip it, and I don't dip it with my finger, I hold it with tongues, and the tongues don't have to be kosher Pesach, just tongues, don't, protect yourself. Or if you want to wear gloves, do it, kitchen gloves, whatever. It's hot, boiling hot. So you dip it into that pot of boiling water. You wait until the pot of boiling water has bubbled up again. Once it bubbled up, you take your item out, you run it under cold water, it's kosher Pesach. And the thing that I wanted to not forget to tell you, which is interesting just in case you want to know, on Pesach is the only time where you can take an item that is fleischig, used for meat, and make it for dairy and vice versa. So if you have anything that you really say, I wish I had this for dairy, or I wish I had this for meat, well, I can tell you that as you're kashering your item for Pesach, you can now use it for the opposite meat or dairy side. So that's a fun thing to know. Okay, so now, remember, the same way it's swallowed, the same way it's going to come out. So if something has been swallowed by being put into a pot of soup, you put it into a pot of boiling water, and that will take, and straight away after you put it under cold water, now your item is kosher Pesach, okay? So you can do a lot of cutlery like this. You can do, okay, now the kos and all the items that are silverware, candlesticks and everything. If you want to kosher them, you kosher them. I would, but you don't have to, because they never in contact with boiling hot chametz. But maybe. I just was wondering this year if I shouldn't try for Pesach to have hot grape juice or hot wine. I think like it would be such a good idea, you know. We can do anything we want this year. So just trying. Everybody always has this cold drinks. How about having hot drinks for the 4 cups? Okay, so I told you about this item. Now, you can, if you have a very small pot, sometimes you have a tiny little pot where you just boil your water for coffee, a tiny little thing, it's a metal thing, you can dip it and you can, do it. I want to tell you something really interesting that in America, people don't do that. They never heard of this, but if you have a can, tomato sauce can, anything like that, you take off the paper, you can use it as a pot. Now, I wouldn't do that all year long, but for Pesach, if you just need a pot to boil some eggs or something like that, it's really great, Again, we have the toiling issues, but still, you can give it to the guy next door and then have your little pot with a can of tomato sauce. Okay. What I want to say. Okay, so oven. Okay, the oven, cleaning the oven. There is some products that will make your life so much easier. Oh, before I forget, I'm going to give you such a good tip. There is something called Extreme Scrub. I just love this sponge from Scotch-Brite, I think. I just love it. It's purple. It will clean anything. You can burn your pot or what you want. It'll make your cleaning easy. You never have to go again and again scrubbing for 10 minutes. This is super smart. You cannot find it in the store, at least nowhere I've seen it in the store, but you can order online. It's called Super Scrub from Scotch-Brite, and it'll make your life so much easier. It's unbelievable. Okay, if you need to clean your stove, if you need to clean anything tough to clean, your sinks, it's amazing. Anything that you've burned will come off right away. Okay. The fans that are on top, clean your fans now. You don't need to wait. If you are not using your fans over Pesach and you're going to cover them anyway, so clean them now. They're going to be covered anyway. If you do use them, bleach them, do whatever you do to it. There is one product, it's called Shumanit. I love this. It smells terrible. It's toxic. But if you want to clean your stove, your oven, or anything else, or your greasy pot, Shumanit is amazing. You just spray it, you leave it there for a little bit of time, and then everything comes off amazing. Goo Gone also, it's always good to have Goo Gone, but that's for different things. Okay, let's say, clean as much as you can now. I just can't repeat it enough. Things that are going to be locked up, if you're short of time, just lock them. Any question that I should address right now? Let's talk about this thing now. A lot of us, personally, not me, but I feel for you, okay? Because I personally, when I had to make Pesach the first time, it was like dive and swim. That's it. I had no choice. And a lot of us right now have no choice. We have to make it on our own and be by ourselves. But I want to make sure that everybody has a good experience. And there's no reason why not. Again, the work that we're going to have to do this year is, instead of thinking of ourselves a specific way, we have to get out of the box. And this is the whole idea of Passover. We are going to be jumping into a different mode. It's like a quantum leap. We were a certain way. We looked at ourselves a certain way. We positioned ourselves in society a certain way as a guest or as a host with guests or whatever it was, or as a family member. And now we are on our own. And it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity to change because we have no choice. So let's do a little bit of thinking here. The change has to come like this. When we have a self-image, again, the self-image is what we look at ourselves from our own perspective. From our own perspective, we look at ourselves, and now we have to do something that contradicts our self-image, and we're going to encounter resistance. And that's what's happening to most of us now, is we're encountering a resistance. For example, somebody says, well, I'm used to have Pesach with a family, or I'm used to be invited, I'm used to be a guest, or I'm used to host people. This is the image, the self-image we have of ourselves. And now what's going to happen is, or maybe your self-image is, I take off and I go to a hotel for Pesach and I have a fun time. And now I have to do all this work. So that your self-image now has changed. And the housekeeper is not coming because the housekeeper don't want to show up anymore. So not only you don't have the hotel, you have to do it at home, but you have no help. So you can see that the image you have of yourself, that let's say money can buy you Pesach, now that image is shift. It has to shift, okay? And we inherently resist anything that contradicts our self-image. So what we need to practice. Okay? So whether other people tell us something, like now, let's say, I'm not saying the government, really, I'm not saying that, because I know most people are not staying home because the government says so. Because really, if you want to be invited, nobody will know. The government is not going to be there and prevent you from being a guest or hosting people. People are doing this self-containment, I should say, to protect others and to protect themselves. So it's because we want to do it, not because someone else wants to do it. But very often, no matter what in life, when somebody else tells us to do something, we have a resistance to it, okay? So what is the truth? The truth is that we may have to go against the belief that we have. And if you're for a long time, you've been in one situation and you have to switch to a different situation, your self-image has to switch. And this is what we're going to be trying to do today. Now, if you have a reaction, the reaction could be fear, reaction could be overwhelm, the reaction could be, I don't know how to do it, I don't know how. So that's what we're doing this webinar, to give you tips and tools on how to do it and sharing with each other, okay? So let's look now at this situation where people are feeling not quite comfortable with doing the Pesach Seder. And what I want to do, give me just a second. When I say the sentence, I would like you to repeat after me. With that exception, if you feel that what I said is absolutely not true for you, don't repeat it. There's no point. I only want you to say things that feel true. For example, if I'm going to say, I forgive myself, and you are not forgiving yourself, don't say it. You can change it. You can say, I'm willing to try to forgive myself. Okay? In other words, everything that you should say should be said with integrity and sound true to you. The other thing is that I'm going to say, I love and I accept myself. Well, some people among you might not love themselves. It's a problem. Some people might not accept themselves the way they are. Education does that a lot. But what I want to say is, try to go a little bit in that direction and feel it totally. For example, if you cannot say, I love, accept, and forgive myself, you can say, I'm willing to give it a little try in the direction of loving, forgiving, and accepting myself. All right? And maybe that you will be able to say with integrity. All right? So, again, I'm going to say things, and I'm going to say things that are very general because everybody has their own thing that they feel, and I don't know exactly what they are. So I'm going to say things that are very general. When you say it, and I want everybody to be muted by now because I don't want to hear everybody repeating after me. But if you could repeat after me, and if you feel like you have more of a specific area or a specific item that you want to mention, go ahead and do that. I don't know what it is, and I cannot mention it even for the whole group, but the more specific you are, the better off you are. All right? So you will repeat it to yourself and make sure that you're muted. I didn't mute anyone. Okay. All right, so we're going to be starting, first of all, by tuning into our body. Tuning into our body and feeling the feeling that is uncomfortable right now. There's a feeling of uncomfort of having to face this situation. And could be, as we said, lack of trust in yourself to be able to do it. It could be anger, could be frustration, could be loneliness. It could be anxiety, could be anything, but just feel it in your body. And on a scale of 0 to 10, figure out how strong is that emotion. And also feel where it is in your body. So it could be anywhere in your body. Could be in your neck, could be between your eyes. It could be on your chest. It could be anywhere. Just feel it where it is in your body. And think about it. Could be in your stomach. If you're nervous, a lot of people have butterflies in their stomach. What is this overwhelmed about? What is this emotion about? What is it connected to? An event, to an upbringing? Feel it in your body and acknowledge that feeling, because I can tell you something. Let's say somebody is now experiencing anger about this situation of having to be by themselves. I bet you that same person is going to be angry at a lot of other things. So, or if somebody feels they're lonely, and it's going to be so lonely these 3 days, I bet you that person usually has feeling of loneliness. So usually the feelings that we have now, they're being amplified by the situation, but they're usually there anyway. So we want to address that feeling. We want to address where it comes from, when it started a little bit, but just feel it. Just feel it in your body, accept it, and see that it's there. And then just start tapping right now on your karate chop point over here, or wherever you want to tap. You can tap in all the different areas that I showed you before. And I'm going to say things and you're going to repeat after me. There's somebody in their kitchen that I can hear. I don't know who it is, but if you could please make sure you're all muted. Let me see here if I see everybody. That if I see, yeah, Ilana is not muted. I'm muting Ilana. That's it. We're done. All right. So here we go. Even though I feel overwhelmed, and again, you can say the words that you feel. It doesn't have to be overwhelmed. Could be lonely, could be angry, could be anything. Even though I feel overwhelmed, repeat after me. Even though I don't like that situation, I love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though my body feels all this overwhelm of frustration, I love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though this frustration is weighing me down, I am willing to accept myself and allow myself to feel calm now. This feeling of frustration, I feel them in my body. I feel them in my mind. There is so much to do. And part of me feels like I've got to get it all done right now. So much pressure to get it all done. All these feelings in my body. Thinking about all I have to do and acknowledging the pressure on my mind and body. Sometimes these feelings get out of control. My list is endless. So much to do. I don't know where I'm going to find the time or energy to do it all. It's all up to me. Just me. It's all new to me. I've never done it before. It feels like I'll never be able to get it all done. I have feel in my body the pressure to get it done on time. Feeling it in my body and acknowledging this feeling in my body. Feeling it in my body. Knowing it's there. All this pressure. I don't really want to change it. What if I could find some relief? What if I could really do it? I am ready to find a way to feel calm. I am willing to release this pressure. And I know I'll be more effective coming from a calm place. When I let go of the pressure, I have more resources. I realize I know more than I think I know. I'm more creative when I'm calm. And I have more patience. So choosing to feel calm now. I'm choosing to trust myself. Others that have done it, deep down, I know I can do it too. Feeling calmer gives me choices. So I choose to breathe very deeply, letting go of all the stress, allowing myself to feel calm, teaching my body how to relax. When I am calm, time is on my side. And I'm allowing myself to feel calm now. I'm allowing myself to feel calm. That will help me to release all these thoughts, to take charge and get organized. I know more than I realize. And I can learn even more. I am ready to let go of all the ways I put pressure on myself. I'm ready to feel calm and confident. I'm ready to go into a Yom Tov with joy and happiness. I'm ready to let go of all the stress, feeling calm and safe. Safe in my home, safe in my body, letting it all go. Letting go of all the stress now and going towards Yom Tov with joy. Embracing a new way of being me. Feeling excited about showing up for myself. Feeling happy about being a king or a queen. Feeling happy being in control in my own home. Letting go of all the stress and experiencing the joy and taking it with me and reaching for it anytime I wish. So take a deep breath in. Gently stop tapping. Check back in. Say out loud or in your mind, I have that feeling, whatever feeling you had before we started. Is it as strong or is it down and lower in intensity? If it's a little bit lower, good. If it's a lot lower, it's even better. If it's a little bit lower, you can always do it again. And keep on doing this and accepting yourself and accepting your realities and embracing it and making the very best of it. And when you release these feelings that you have, you're going to let go of them. You can not only be more effective and productive, and getting things done, but more importantly, you can do it while feeling calm and peaceful and happy in your body. And this is what we want to go into this Yom Tov with. There's a lot of work, but you can do the work and turn on music or listen to something you really enjoy, or do it in a way. Some people love cleaning. Why not? Some people love shopping. Some people love preparing for Pesach. And remember, it's going to be about you, about the things you like, the things you enjoy, and the way you're going to make this table beautiful, I know, and the way you're going to follow along in the Haggadah for making your own Seder. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be really great. So thank you very much. If you have any comment now, please post your comments in the chat box. And in the meantime, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us today. Remember, we're doing this tomorrow again at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to do Friday, probably 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to keep on going, getting together and chill. I can't anymore. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank